Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming. I'm Dell and this is From the Depths Designer, where we have the Atlantis, and this is the current build of the Atlantis as we left it last time. Don't think I made changes since last time. And what we're looking at now is, hopefully this is the last build part. Check down in the comments below for time codes as normal, and hopefully some links to the other parts if you have missed them. So basically in this part what we're going to look at is missiles. Missiles and more missiles. The plan I have first of all is going to be putting some air-to-air missiles up here, which is going to basically use a controller, like I could put one up here, to have some interceptor missiles now on the back here. Then we're going to have another block similar to what we've done previously, purely for missiles, which are vertical launch missiles to be aiming at sea vessels. So these are surface vessels, basically a large vessel about 1,000 meters or less, to basically rain down lots of missile spam onto targets using a few controllers, aiming for specific points using infrared cameras. So that's the basic idea. Right, so first of all I'm going to look at these interceptor missiles. So let's bring up the interface, go into build mode. So as you can see, it starts with a controller, and I will need a let's see, we will need a wireless receiver on there because it's part of the main ship. There on channel 2 I believe is AI. We might not have something on the inside block here. Right, so the idea here is that we have a missile on a turret which will point at a target as it starts coming in to range, and once it's within a set figure it will fire its missile, bam, straight at the target at high speed to intercept. These missiles are not designed to go into a dogfight mode. They're fairly much, they have got guidance and accuracy, but they are designed to be heading straight at a target as it's closing in. The missile, one of the missile blocks at the front, I believe it's this one, has air-to-air missiles, but they're more long-range dogfightery missiles. This is purely interceptors, aiming at going high-speed targets as they are closing with us. So the basic of it is a 360 turret. Now, not a precision, because we need the ability to go in all angles. So what I'm going to go for is I want to make only azimuth control, is we're going to go for a torqueless. No, we're just going to go for a 360 turret, standard 360 turret. Let's just make sure that that's got the settings I am looking for on it. So if we put it just here, you can see it's going a little crazy. Now let me just come off that for a minute. Yeah, I had another block there earlier and deleted it, so I'm gonna just get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that, and we'll put one here instead, where hopefully it won't be so annoying, shall we say. So we can either have torqueless or not. We'll go for a normal 360 then. Right, now one of the keys that was I brought this up in a previous one of my labs. I think it was lab 6 or 7, no 8, and we did this testing, and I found that the turret did not aim at the target very quickly. It took a while to turn around. Now someone suggested that I increase the spring force, so I'm going to put that up to 1,000. We're going to maximise it basically, and just see if that will turn it quicker onto the target. That's the hope. Right, next we're just going to be a very basic missile, so we're just going to have a missile controller, and on the front of that will be a launch pad with the missile blocks. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, and it's going to be a very simple missile. Short range. I don't know if I have one loaded. No, let's just check. Nope, don't have one loaded, so I'll manage this one. So it's going to have, let's just go to the basics at the front. Fragmentation warhead. The aim is just to hit a block. Hopefully it will just hit a block and get enough damage to make a difference. It's going to need a camera. So where is the infrared camera? No, it doesn't need a camera. It needs a target precision. Doesn't need a 1 turn. So we're just going to put a bit of fuel in it. Only needs 1 fin, and then we're going to put 3 fuel tanks. 3 thrusters, all kicking off straight away. So at the moment that gives us 10 seconds of fuel. We'll go for 1 more. That gives us effectively 10 seconds, so we've got 2.5 seconds burst of fuel at the target. Okay, we'll save that as test, and that's basically our build. Now what I'll actually do is I'm going to save this as a sub-object, and let's just check, see if we've got one. We've got one. We'll rename this though. We'll delete it, and we'll call this A8 Interceptor 1. Okay, so turret 360, and we're going to have 1 more on the front. We're going to go into hull mode, put 1 on the front, there we go, and we'll put 1 here, and then ready for when I put a controller here. I'll have 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Let's put this controller over. Just there, and the radio on channel 2. And what we can also do is this. If we just put that block on the top, we can put another one on the top of it. Facing the right way. Oh, come on. I'm having just great problems today. There we go. So these should just aim at a target and basically fire at it. No great controller there. I can try. I'm going to try putting some metal blocks. No, maybe not just there. Maybe just in the corners to give a bit of potential protection to that controller. Hopefully it won't stop them turning. The easiest way is if I make sure all of these are on a particular number on one of these. There is one other change I need to make, I think, on all of them that I didn't, and from memory that needed to be made on the original one. But let's first of all just test this turning. Now what I did do down here is put a fire controller. So if I go into here and give myself a fire controller, there we go. I should now be able to, if I go into here and go to number 5, I should have a whole load of items, and I can see how these move around, see if those blocks interfere with them. Only a little bit, that's fine. They move pretty quick. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let's just check all those settings went through. They went through okay. The other change I do want to make sure though is in each of these, that's not the change I want, it's got to be to that, is this is only set at 10 degrees. There we go. So this has to be aiming at least 10 degrees of the predicted path for it to actually fire. That's the idea. So it has to be fairly, it's mainly using its accuracy of pointing the turret rather than the missile. The missile that will then modify to correct any last minute errors. That's the wrong block. I need to go up here. And oh, cute. So yeah, the controller is just there for sorry, not controller. The prediction is just there for any last minute changes. Okay, now the other change. Let's go in here and set up the controller. The aim is no minimum range, but a maximum range of about 600. We're going to try and intercept at 600 meters. And minimum altitude, this is aimed at targets that are going to be above 40 meters. No other changes, so 640. Doesn't matter on the block size. Maximum range 600. Minimum altitude 40. So it won't do fast, low flying vessels. This is aimed at high speed ships, basically. And we can't set a minimum speed, we can only set maximum speeds. So minimum speeds we're not interested in. So if I was to just give this an example, if I go out here, load vehicle in the deep water guards side, and I've actually got one of my targets, whoops, back here, target Jet 2. There we go. Now these hopefully will target in on these. Has he already gone out of range? Let's have a look. It's coming to 600 now and fired. You can see how quickly those missiles reached there and got after him. I'll try one more time. We might have to just adjust that to 700. Oh, the missiles got there quite happily. Although, to be honest, there is so much AA coming in here. Just look at that volume of fire being fired out there. But okay, they worked. I might change that. They were a little slow. I might just still a little slow. I might change that speed to distance to 700, so they'll fire at 700 rather than 600. Oops. Let's not change that. There we go. So we'll try them. That could be interesting. So they're interceptor missiles. Just make sure I've got nothing else. I changed nothing else on those. These are susceptible to getting hit. Obviously, there's very little protection on here, but they're at the back of the ship. So yeah, I don't expect them to get hit too much. They might get some random fire. If they do, so be it. They have a first shot if a aircraft is in the first group, it will target them. Okay, excellent. That's a good starting point. So next we have missile system, vertical launch, surface targets, extended amount of fire, so fairly much a continuous firing rate I'm looking 4 on this. Let's see what we get. So we're going to base it upon this sort of sizing. So if we go into build mode and we get our standard blocks, just to check what sort of size we get, wood block, wood beam, there we go. We're going to get, if I just measure it up on there, 1, 2, so 2 with the possibility of a little on the extra on the side. Okay, let's go into our number 3 mode. Then we go new object, a vehicle. I'm going to push it out here a bit and then do the magical starting block. There we go. So forward is that way. So okay, let's start with a mirror line there, and because the mirror line is the evil thing that always catches us out, and we're going to do metal beams because we are not being worried about metal. Now we're going to have this as quite long. Width wise, I'm not too, it's going to be kept under control. Let's just do the width here. Let's come out of that mode now. That's 4, 5 wide, so that's 4, that's 9 wide. So okay, that's wide enough. And now, so it can be a little bit longer. That's good enough for me. That's good enough. So now we've got the height we need to get some missiles. So let's put some missiles down. Now then I need some ejectors. I'll most really have them going sideways. So let's just start with the first row, some 6-way connectors. That's going to be the front area. We'll need some ejectors on there. So let's just start here. Use the full width up on this first group. I might need 2 ejectors on each one, so that means I need a space for both. Let's just see how many that would actually give us if we did it like that. Right, that's as many we're going to get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll get 21 missiles. Okay. And that will get us 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 missiles, except that last row. Oh no, yep, that'll get us thing, and we put the controllers and that underneath in these sections. Okay, yep, but only 1 ejector. Yeah, I think we can go with that. We can go with that and make some other changes to some of them maybe. Have a bit of a play with the missiles. And that will give us 35, fairly much constant firing at 35 missiles. If we put a low enough delay on it, we can get a good one. Or we could do the mass fire. But this is something we can change on a module by module basis. So we could have one, if we've got more than one of these modules, we can have one module which is a mass fire, and one module which is slightly quick firing, another one which is very slow. You know, that would be the idea. Let's see how we're going to do with an actual missile, so to speak. Can't use that one in the center because it would get blocked by the ejectors. Ejector add-on. We're not looking at an extreme amount of armoring here. Actually, this last one, yeah, I did those the wrong way around. Oh dear. Ha. Injectors go at that side. ho hum. Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's think this through. Yeah, one set with 2, one set with 0, and most of them with 1, just to give us a sort of slight height differential between some of the missiles. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, I'm okay. It's not ideal, but I'm okay with that. That gives us a little bit of a variation. Right, missile controller can go. Where are we going to put all of these? Could put it all in here at the front. Yeah, why not? Missile controller. Take off this for the moment. Then we'll need a identify friend or foe, and we'll put the local weapon controller there. We need AI, etc. We need some room for the AI module, but okay, let's just change that around a little bit. What we'll do is we'll put the stagger fire here first. Staggered fire. There we go. We'll start at 0.5, which is mostly more than we need. That's all we need. Then we got here, we will need, let's go back to the AI, the local weapon controller, and the AI mainframe. So it's got its own mainframe on board. And for the mainframe, this is the only problem. We haven't got enough room to put any sort of decision. Okay, let's. By default, it's going to just have like a whole load of default settings. If I just leave it like that, it's purely going to be based upon what's in range, not necessarily the largest. Which, if we've got a missile system like this, and we've got multiple targets, I would like to be able to make it target specific things. So let's see, best way to do this. Thinking of the best way of getting an AI module. If I go there, I can put a left and right. Means we've got a gap. Okay, could move everything along one. That might give us the distance we need. So put that there. That there. There we go. Excellent. Sort out delay later and all those bits. Let's just get everything in place. AI mainframe, and then we put a left and right card. Does it accept that? And then target prioritization. Not connected, not connected. Okay, so I can only put these a particular way. That's annoying. How about a front and back? Where's AI? AI. Target prioritization. Will it now allow me to put it this here? Not connected. Connected to mainframe, but they only allow me if I put it here. Oh well, we're going to have a bit of a gap there, because there's no way of putting this module on the side without first going here. That's very annoying. But ho hum, if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. Okay, let's have a look at the missiles we're going to do. Just do one at the moment. Missile blocks. Missile block. So we now have a minor weakness there. I can cover that up with some blocks on the front, so that's not too much of a problem. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. Let's say 8 blocks. So what could we put on this? So we need about 1,000 meters, which for an 8-block missile, or I could make this a lot smaller. I could do lots of little ones, but I want to get some warheads in this. Now this sort of like just a couple of little bits and pieces. So let's see. I did have some of these written down, just looking at my notes from previous areas. I reckon that a single motor, let's just see, thrust, we might have to do a test on this one here. I'm thinking yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough, just having two fins. We don't have two fins to give it a bit of turn. Let's pack this out to a degree, and then what we need is a one turn, and then we're going to need a camera, and then I'm going to have two fragments and an explosive, and then the IR. So I could take one off the top, infrared, and add an EMP in here. And what we'll do is we're going to have the different rows set differently for different targets. So that's centre of mass, just as just on that one particular one. So short range, short range with just a slight delay, just for as it pops up, with the different ejectors. Yeah, we'll go for that basic makeup, I think, and that will allow, this will be on the top level. So if we do like so, come on, get on that, there we go. Somewhere like that will be just level at the top, which is fine. And it's sinking. We don't want you to sink. Why have you done that? It's gone off there for some reason. Okay, build. Thank you very much. Right, so center line. Let me just quickly fill up all these missiles. Okay, well that's the basics of it done. I just had a quick review of some of the previous missiles I had created, and this particular missile is only going to get about 0.7, 700 meters as a range, and I wanted about that 1,000. So we're going to have to go to a twin stage engine. So we're going to have a startup delay 1 second, and the second firing in at 21 seconds. It doesn't need that much. We'll still go 2 fins. 1, 2, 3, 4. One good thing is we don't need as many warheads. The other idea is, actually we're going to try a second idea, is make these 6-block missile, and we'll recess them a little bit with the 4 fuel tanks and the 1 turn. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out a couple of warheads. So we're going to have to go with just 2 warheads. If I go here, take that out, go back into it, and where are we? Infrared. There we go. So it's a lot simpler missile in that regard there. So we just got 1, 2 fins, and we're just going to go with that. That should get us 900 to 1,000, I would imagine. So we will just need to take 1 off of all the missiles, just to make them a 6 instead of a 7 block. Not problem. I've reduced the overall, but then to go actually further, I'd actually need to increase it, go another stage up, put it up 8, 2 block, maybe even go up as far as a 10. It's surprising once you start pushing the number of warheads. the delta V required goes up significantly with the weight. So we'll go with this with one explosive, one fragment. We could even make this a dual fragment, or make some of them maybe a EMP. So we'll just have a look at that. So if I just do save to all, okay. Now what I was thinking of doing, so those, leave that front ones all the same, then this second row, and I'll quickly make all the changes to the various missiles. So I'll just go through what I'm going to do though on this first section. So on this one, we'll make this a dual fragment. Where are you? Fragmentation. So we'll add another fragment, make it a very armor-piercing shell rocket. This one will change the explosive, say, to an EMP. This one will change the explosive to a sticky flare. And these ones here, which are our low flyers, we're going to make just a double explosive. So we're sort of covering the various levels. So let me just make the changes to the various missiles. Okay, so that's all the missiles done. I made an additional change other than the warheads in changing the targeting for the blocks. So for the infrared targeting. So for instance, the first one does center of mass. So they're all on center of mass. The second one with the fragmentation is going for hot things. Ideally that means the hot things are going to be things like engines. So it will try and penetrate through to the engine. The EMPs are actually going to aim at shields, try and take out their shield controllers. I thought would be a good one. And this one is the sticky flare, also going at the shields. The idea being that the shields are possibly protecting something valuable, which will then make the last ones, which are explosive, going for random block. Oops, sorry, where's my hot things one? There's one going for hot things, which is this one here. Okay, yes, that's going for hot things. So the flares will make the hot things one then basically go for things that were shielded. So anyway, we'll see how that works with various little extras. I've put an origin block here. So the next thing we need to do on this is, I'm not going to worry about shielding on this. I don't think it needs shields. It's going to be behind. We'll rely on its repairability. We will need some ammo down here. Just now suddenly, you know what I'm like, I'm suddenly having second thoughts about shielding. No, I don't think shielding, because we'll go with the fact of lots of blocks of armour. I might put some wood blocks on the side of this as well, just as an extra ablative armour. But we'll do the ammo barrels next. I've put the origin block, you'll notice, on there. We'll also, because we don't need power for anything else, we'll also need a resource resource supply pump to ensure that it does receive items. We'll leave 2 at the front, just there. Then we'll put, let's see, a supply pump, say just there. That should be fine. Let's put some metal blocks in here. And in between. Excellent. And we'll put metal beams where we can everywhere else. We'll put them in this way then. And just some blocks on the front. And finally some metal beams around here, just to give us that little extra security defense at the front. One set of beams underneath. As I said, I don't think we'll need any power and or shielding on this one, so we'll just go with some wooden beams. Yes, the good old wood will make them think that it's nice and simple to attack this thing. Some of it's going to be underwater as well anyway. Put some beams, just take them up a little bit higher, might as well. Get that highest level. Never know, it might actually allow it to float, but I'm not. That's certainly not the intention. Is having this as a floating system. It's not required at all. Need some more. Let's see if we've got there. Just to keep it nice and even. And we'll put some on the top as well. Can go there. In fact, let's go check this way. Can't go that way, but I could go like this. Ah, okay, that will fit in there quite nicely. And that looks quite reasonable. Excellent, and we'll just add another quick row of wood at this level as well, just to be on the safe side. Looking good, looking good. So, yep, the usual why use wood. It's cheap, and I like the looks. Just thought something, I will put a couple of repair tentacles just on the bottom, so it adds to repairing the main ship if there's any damage. We have the origin block, so okay, we are as set as we need to be for this at this moment. We'll just put some, fill in those gaps just to make it nice and even. So that my brain doesn't have a motion every time I look at it thinking, not even, not even. And we've always got room to go to the 8 block if we find the range isn't enough and we do need to put that extra thruster in. We can extend that up just that little bit. So, okay, where are we going to go? It's got 1, 2, 3. So we're looking at 4 blocks now. So if we quickly save this. Okay, now we can come off of it. It's saved as such. Is it going to float? I don't think it will float, but it'll be interesting if it does, because it is now totally self-contained, although obviously somewhat yeah, that's quite interesting. You could leave it in the water if it comes to it as a sort of self-contained unit. Okay, but that's not our aim today. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from the center, from this point here. We need 4 blocks. So let's just get into build mode on here now, and we'll use, where's our metal beam? Right. Now allowing a couple at the front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it is going to use up most of this area. Okay, so that's going to be our point to just one behind, just here, and then down to just here. I think will be where we need it. So it's just going to be here. Let's just see if that is correct. Right, we'll just put it in here for the moment. Miscellaneous docking station. Just. Okay, let's go and grab it. and we need it to be turned 90 degrees that way, and we must be going to have to do this 15, although this one isn't. This one seems to be holding at 0. I'll leave it at 0 for the moment. See, oh no, that is holding up. Okay. Front seems to be more than enough. If anything, I think we need to go a couple this way. Although we're getting close to this engine point, so maybe we'll just stick with where we are. Let's bring it in to 11. Whoops, 11. Let's see, is that too close? That's a little close. We'll put that out to 12. Partially because this is sitting here. So we'll get rid of them because they are not needed. No, they are not. See, they've gone. You can see it's not going central. It's going a little bit lopsided. So yeah, let's try get up the Q menu, click somewhere off, come back up, then you can control it unless it's gone completely crazy. We'll set it at 12 then. 5 and 5. Okay, that looks good to me. Right, we'll go into mirror mode so the changes I do are affected on the other side and act as a place marker. So what we would need is a sub-vehicle spawner. Just there. And in this case we're going to grab that missile pod, confirm it, and it's going to have a spawn distance of 25. And we'll leave it facing out that way so it gets turned and pulls it. Now we'll have it turned the face right way. That's cool. Then we need this block. Where is our control block? Automated control block. Here, which is activate every second. Everything in 3 blocks. Docking stations, recall. Okay, so that all means every second it will recall this unit. Is that a little too close? I'm thinking that's maybe a little close. Let's increase that. Let's give it a little bit of room, a little bit of wiggle room. There we go. Okay, so next we need to transfer all of those settings over here. So the bit we need to do is that bit. There we go. Transfer all those items. It's going to be that way. 14. Oops. 14. Blah blah blah. 100. Yep. This will be at 25. And that way. Once I load one in. So let's just load one in. Where are we? Where are we? Around here. So that's actually quite good that that floats. So if we needed to, we could just leave it like that and it will quite happily go out there and attack stuff, which is good. Me likey very much. Right, okay, let's go and select this vehicle, turn it on, and set it to be a spawnable. Okay, building off. So that's them both now docked with the station. So all we have to test now is all of our docking systems. Sorry, our combat efficiency. I'm going to take out the fire control computer here, I think. Let's take that out. There we go. We'll see how these fire, if they fire. It would be handy if they do fire at something. And the range that they fire. I didn't set up their ranges. That's the only, or I say only, that's the only bad thing I can think of. I may not have done. Did I set a range on these? Somewhere in here there is a controller. Should be just there. No, I didn't. So maximum range 1000. Close enough. Maximum altitude. This is surface targets only. So we'll set it at 30. No, 20. 20. The rest of it, that's fine. I'll just save that. Now we'll go and make the changes over here manually, because I don't like using the retrofit. It's got me stuck before now, so I don't use it unless I really have to. So, and plus I can remember that. It's only 2 settings I've got to change. So 1000, thereabouts, and maximum altitude. And I forgot already. I'm going to set it for 20. There we go. Let's give it, just see if they fire if I just put in a marauder. Do these actually fire at anything? The big guns seem to be firing quite nicely. And they have linked in as well. Let's just see if these are set to, I think it's too far away. Let's let these fire and we'll see how far these missiles actually get. At least they're heading in the right direction. That's always a good starting point. It is dead already. Possibly setting it further is actually good, so we can now see actually how far these do go with their fuel. That one's really got off on ahead. And they're still going for it, they're still going for it. There. That's where the fuel let out. So that's a range of 900 meters. Okay, so 900 meters will be their range when you set. Okay, not as far as I would like, but still not too bad. So it won't be initial shots, it would be second level of shots. Okay, okay. I would have liked the 1000. I think the 900, I'm not unhappy with 900. At least I know. We can always create another pod, which is an ICBM pod. That's the good thing I'm liking about this system, is we will be able to create various pods for different situations. Go on, give me that. No. Look, I know it's, there we go. So different situations, and that one's set for 32. So let's change that to 22. Yeah, that should be close enough. Okay. Right. Well, that's the last of that pods. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. We'll just save the vehicle. So hopefully that wasn't too bad, and we learnt some items on there. Any comments about the missile setup, or any suggestions of these pods or what we could do next? Obviously we've got a lot of range for pods. As far as points go, we're still only at 6,000 blocks. So to be honest, block wise we are still very low. It's not really, I don't think, counting the blocks of these. These are about 700. What's this here? 675. Oops. What's the ratio of it? That's 155,000 RP. And if I go here, Yeah, see, we're still actually fairly low. I don't think it's counting these pods. We've got plenty of room to be able to pull in more pods for various reasons. I'm even thinking of having armor pods, and they would be, depending on where damage is being taken, we could bring in a set of armor at the front here, potentially just in front, so that it, or even shield pods, which just have massive engines and produce a massive shield area. So that's some ideas. You know, eventually we could have, if we need it, when we're going against other groups, laser pods, lam pods, you know, you name it, we can come up with the module or replace these. If this gun isn't good enough, we replace it with a gun that is good enough. If these missiles need a little extra range, we just swap over the pod, get rid of this pod, pull in another pod which has got updated missiles. That's the whole idea. So next episode is combat testing. We're going to put it up against a few Onyx Watch ships and maybe some of the white flares that we'd previously fought against, and see how it does in combat. So until next time, have fun.